Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 of this best-of-3 series between Speed Gaming and Empire is now underway. It's our only matchup, or our only series for the day. Can Speed Gaming take a game off Empire and at least take us into an ace match, LD?
If they draft better. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
And also, the draft wasn't that questionable, although I think it was a little greedy, but the main issue was really the lanes. If you pick Slardart, you have to protect his farm early. He's not a comeback hero. Not at all. As for this game, the drafting, I think trying to take Empire a bit out of their comfort zone would be nice, and, well, we're starting to get into it, but we do see the Doom ban. We haven't yet shown the draft, I guess, but I did mention that at the end of the last game. I think you do need to ban Doom against Empire, and it seems Speed do agree.
Speed will take heed to your advice this draft, pursuing slowly, but let's take a look. Both teams actually burning into their bonus time to decide what they want to ban out, but I think all four of these bans make a lot of sense here. Doom Invoker from Speed Gaming, two heroes that Empire have been running to great success, and Visage Mirana. We talked about Aoi 2000, one of the best split pushers with the Visage, as we saw a testament to in the last game, and Mirana really needs no introduction, that classic Sing Sing hero. Opens up for a first pick Luna by Team Empire.
Does Speed go for a Chen now, I guess is the main question. Because if not, Empire, pretty decent chance they would go for it. Chen Luna's very strong together. Speed, at this point, they also like to open with Luna a lot, so in some ways this is a block pick, I guess you could call it. We'll just have to wait and see. It's pretty open draft, and pretty much these are just like targeted bans at what each team likes to run. So
yeah,
it does leave a lot of just generally strong heroes like Clockwork, Timbersaw in the pool, Prophet, something that Empire runs occasionally, not a ton. Batrider's out there for Empire as well, and sure, I think the Doom is more of a core hero for Empire, but that was a 10 or 12-1 and 8 Batrider in a 25-26 kill game. He was involved in like 4/5 of their kills as an offlane bat.
Yeah, Resolution had an insane game last match. But talk to us about Luna and Chen on the same team. Where does that synergy between those two heroes come from?
Well, they're just really good at pushing.
They're just good at pushing.
Take the early towers, and when you take early towers, you get a faster BKB on Luna, you get a faster Helm of the Dominator and could just farm the Ancients well, or a quick mech. So good synergy in general for early 5-man, and good at jumping out to a fast lead. But they go Nyx instead, so we'll probably see Speed look to ban Chen in this stage. Well, they do have decent counter push. Clockwork and Crystal Maiden's pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. So if they want to give away Chen, then they need to pick up even more AoE to counter.
Yeah, the Speed Gaming opening is very open-ended here. CM and Clockwork, although you know what roles they're going to play, still a lot of different avenues this draft can take. Very solid first picks, in my humble opinion.
I like Empire's Nyx pick because if you go Bat, you know he's one of your cores, but with Nyx, he can be a support as well. So it's more of a flexible pick, and when you already have one farmer in the Luna, picking Bat reveals your lanes a bit too much. So they go Nyx here, and Speed may still be forced to blow a ban on Bat. Otherwise, you're up against Bat Nyx in the mid-game, and that is not fun.
Yeah.
And
interesting anti-mage ban. It seems Empire have done their homework. They saw the epic anti-mage game from yesterday where Envy ended 10-0-1. He was did not concede a death and just farmed like mad. So it seems to be a strategy they don't want to go up against, though. I don't know that Speed are too keen on picking anti-mage. That was a very special case where they last picked an AM for that particular match.
Yeah, Nyx is okay against AM. I mean, he's pretty good at ganking him. Luna's pretty good against him because you can force the early 5-man engagements, and that's where AM is weak. So I think Empire's draft can deal with AM. It's more just they, as a team, don't want to have to play against it, as opposed to they like need to ban it. So Empire, at this point, I think Storm's something that we might see out of them. So far, Speed have very little reliable lockdown. Maybe Speed look to ban it. Speed banning Rubik. He's good. He's a good support against Clockwork. That's pretty much the main thing, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, once in a while you'll see a Rubik ban if a team wants to go Weaver, but Weaver is weak against Nyx, so I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, of course, telekinesis works well when you're trapped inside the cogs, or one of your allies are trapped inside the cogs. You can telekinesis Clockwork and throw him outside of his own barriers. But well, perhaps Speed are gearing up for some scary ultimates that Rubik would be particularly potent against.
Are they going to ban Chen? Because if there's the three heroes that my eyes are on right now are Bat, Storm and Chen, I think. It depends what direction they think Luna's Empire's going to go, whether it's 5-man with Luna Chen, whether it's just picking Storm because Speed don't have a whole lot of lockdown. They probably wouldn't do it until 4th or 5th pick in that case, but or you know, it could just be the bat because that bat was magnificent in game number 1.
Yeah.
So they actually ban Vena and they take Chen. So they do deny Empire the Chen.
Yep.
And they get rid of another pretty strong laning support. Also a good counter pushing support.
Yeah. And Speed does like to run Chen. We've seen them do that Luna-Chen combo strategy a couple times throughout this tournament. So Hero, they're obviously very comfortable working into their roster. Both teams being very, very slow with this draft, though. This is a big game after all. Speed Gaming just one match from elimination if they concede this victory.
Yeah, top 4 finish, whoever wins this. Of course, you want to go all the way. It's a $10,000 cup. I think first place is 6,000. Second place is 3,000, and third is 1,000. It's something along those lines. So
pretty standard spread.
Yeah.
Not one of those top-heavy tournaments with 9.5K to first place
and $500 to the second, and nothing for anyone else. Yeah, not quite that bad.
Yeah. Those tournaments are interesting, but I always feel bad for the second and third place teams. They put in so much time and effort, and they see so little reward for their time.
I like how hard it makes teams try in the finals, though.
Yeah.
Because one thing that happens in tournaments that are, like, you know, if it's like 6,000, 4,000, it's like, who cares if we lose? It's not that much money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Empire goes Ancient Apparition, so a sniper lineup. Nyx, Ancient Apparition, good at setting up ganks around the map. How much do they commit to this? There's no Invoker, so we won't see Sunstrikes. Could they go Prophet?
No Venomancer either.
Prophet's pretty good against the push. He's not good against Clockwork, though. So maybe they go Prophet. Ancient Apparition is good against Chen in general, and that to Empire, that's probably the main consideration here. Is it disables his Hand of God, it disables the mech if he builds one, and it does a lot of AoE damage in general. So it's good at stopping pushes.
Yeah, and I like seeing Ancient Apparition paired with presumably a support Nyx, so he could very well be in the off lane, at least paired with someone else that has a stun. That common combo we've been seeing with Ancient Apparition is the Venomancer. When you have two supports that don't have a true stun, it can make things a little difficult. They have strengths, but their big weakness is that lack of crowd control.
Well, this hero's going to match up well. Empire have nothing on Lifestealer. Absolutely nothing. When he rages and walks in, Empire just run.
Yeah.
So,
smart choice here.
I think they're setting up for a Storm or a Puck last pick, and we're probably going to see an off-lane. Well, Empire's going to take Storm, and I think we're going to see them ban Puck. So, then the question is, what is Speed going to do with their last pick?
Shadow Fiend banned out as well. They really need a delivery vehicle for that Lifestealer. It could possibly be a Timbersaw Sing Sing if they opt to ban the Puck.
Timbersaw doesn't have any stuns, though.
True.
Against Storm, that is going to be a problem. Because how are you actually locking Storm down if you go Timbersaw? They need something
Frostbite.
with lockdown.
That's all they've got. Yeah,
that's
not much.
They can gank him before 6, and then it's good luck.
Yeah.
Storm is not good against 5-man in general, though, so...
Is there any other delivery vehicle that also has a stun?
I mean, he can infest Clockwork, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Hookshot has a long cooldown. Storm or Puck is ideal. Outside of that...
Silencer ban, okay.
Yeah, we've seen that Storm Silencer combo a lot from Empire. They
will
will ban
Puck,
so
good
Speed,
call.
What do they go for? I'm actually going to look at the hero list.
Possibly a Dragon Knight. Maybe. It's an option, but I don't know. They're really I don't know if there's a really great choice here for Speed. Empire have done well with this draft, limiting the options here for this last pick.
They could go for like just another good fighter. Like Kunkka might not be bad. X Torrent is okay against Storm.
Yeah.
You can zip and dodge the X if you time it right, but if you don't have a whole lot of mana, sometimes you just die anyway. Well, I don't know. Speed, Mirana's been banned. That was the other main thing I was thinking. There's not a whole lot of choices here, to be honest. I think Empire's drafted very well.
Yeah.
They've denied Speed a lot of the things that Speed would have liked most, and they've done everything pretty much at the right times.
And they still have an open-ended draft themselves. Again, Nyx could be the offlaner, could also be the support, so that gives them much more flexibility with their 5th pick, whereas Speed right here, they need a mid-hero.
Disconnected.
Oh, no.
And they're going Rasta.
5 seconds remaining.
Rasta, oh, okay.
Shadow
they
Shaman from Speed.
Interesting. Well, that will help their lockdown here. So we are going to have a remake, it seems. It's Timber.
Thanks, Score, trolling a bit. But it's going to be Rasta, and then what is Empire going to... Oh, they're saying... Huh.
Wait, I don't follow.
I thought he was saying Empire's picking Timber, but Empire hasn't made their final pick yet. So we'll see what Mag goes for, and then we'll have a remake.
Yeah. Unfortunate timing for Pylaidida DC. So Rasta, presumably mid. I mean, there's nowhere else they could lane him.
Yeah, he'll be mid. Clock off lane.
So that's pretty old school. I mean, I flash back to the Han days of the Han equivalent to Rasta going solo mid. And, a Dazzle last pick for Empire, so it will be an off-lane Nyx. But how do you feel about the Shadow Shaman solo mid and this current meta here in 6.8? Do you like it? Is it powerful? Not something we see often.
It depends on the game, really. Shadow Shaman, we've seen him more as a support, I would say. And we're going to have a quick AP remake here. But he's very easily ganked. When the wards are down, he's not very strong. He doesn't scale the way that other solo mids, like Shadow Fiend, Puck, you know, who else do we see a lot solo mid nowadays? Invoker. A lot of these other heroes can be a factor later on. Shadow Shaman is a good lockdown hero. But this means they're running a one-position lifestealer with no other real carry. And so Envy has a lot of heavy lifting to do. And it does give them lockdown against Storm. I think that's the main thing, is having the Hex is important. So they wanted a solo mid that can push with Chen and also has Disable for Storm. So Shadow Shaman's the best choice.
He certainly fits the bill on that front. I think a fast Blink Dagger would do the Rasta well. I'm assuming it'll be Sing Sing playing on him. And a fast blink is just so crucial on that hero. It makes initiating with Hex that much easier, and if you can catch the Storm, well, that's exactly what you're going for.
Fast blink is probably the way to go. The other option is just to tank up, get like drums, arcane boots, maybe go towards Ags.
Yeah.
As we are having AP remake, guys, and we're just waiting for Empire's 5th to rejoin the game.
Is Ags a worthwhile investment on Rasta? I've actually heard conflicting statements from players. I know Fogged is one who says it really isn't worth the investment because you don't get too many extra wards, and others say every ward counts.
I think it's good more for the HP. The ult upgrade is kind of secondary, but Shadow Shaman's very squishy. Now the other option is to, like, for that price you could get drums and blink.
Right.
So probably drums blink a bit better.
And I've even heard some people say that if you're really that dead set on your wards being potent, you might as well just save up and go for the refresher because you get way more wards anyhow. But I don't know.
He's too mana intensive. If you go refresher, then you can pretty much just drop like 2 sets of wards and maybe use 1 or 2 spells. But like Hex is spammable, Shackles is spammable.
It's like you almost need the Ags for the mana pool before you can make the refresher viable.
Yeah, exactly.
So, interesting. Well, at least we're going to get to see sort of an off-kilter pick. I'm excited.
Sing Sing Shadow Shaman used to be one of his signature heroes back when he played for Mouse Sports.
Yeah.
We saw him go mid as Shadow Shaman quite a bit. And he was a more popular pick in general. I'm trying to remember why he fell off. He did not get... I don't think he got directly nerfed. Teams just learned how to deal with him more.
Yeah, I mean, he is very susceptible to ganks early on, and that's part of his problem as a solo mid hero. Sort of similar to Storm, if you can continue to gank him and put pressure on and he falls behind, almost like a comparable to the Death Prophet. If he gets ahead and gets a few levels up, he can snowball and have a huge driving force, but if he gets ganked, the recovery mechanism isn't really quite there.
I guess the one issue I see right now for Empire's draft is that they don't have a whole lot of counter push. Nyx is... Luna's not that great at counter pushing. Dazzle's ult is decent, but aside from that, it's not like he has AoE to spam down the wave.
Right.
Unless your creeps are there and you can heal bomb it. But generally then that means you're up in the front line. So they're not good at stopping pushes, and they're going to have a good laning stage. If they fall behind early, and Speed Gaming can just take every tower with the wards and the Chen creeps. Yeah,
they may be able to open a lot of space for Eternal Envy to get fat on that life stealer. And
I mean, the one thing is the Ancient Apparition, but he needs level 6 and he's a support. So by the time he hits 6, Shadow Shaman could have dropped wards twice generally. So you can take the tier 1 mid, and then maybe the tier 1 safe lane. And if you do that before Ancient Apparition gets ult, you're in good shape.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see how it works out. It appears that Mag is having some sort of a connection issue. He is the one we're waiting for in this lobby. Those Dota servers, they've been pretty good recently. We've been fairly lucky, but it seems Steam is kind of going up and down with the post-Super Bowl madness, I suppose.
Yeah, Valve's still hungover. That's my only explanation. Meanwhile, planes are flying into Mag's house, apparently. That's what Vankscore is saying. Because we're just waiting on Mag to join the lobby at this point.
So. Yeah. So how did you enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday, LD? It
It was the worst fucking Super Bowl ever. That was an awful game. And I just got to say, on the record, Peyton Manning is no Tom Brady. Best quarterback of his generation. Manning, he's a choke artist.
Yeah.
Even the Super Bowl they won, he did not play well. I feel really bad for him, though. One of the hardest working players in the scene, if you will.
Yeah.
Seems like a really nice guy, but he just doesn't have it in the big games.
I don't watch a lot of football these days, but I mean,
I probably pissed off a lot of people.
How many fumbles and picks were in that game? I mean, that was insane. He threw at least 3 interceptions. I saw at least 2 or 3 fumbles, 1 punt return, 1 kick return.
It wasn't only him. The whole team played awful.
It was a disaster across the board.
But, I mean, you're Peyton Manning, right? You should be the one who is elevating your game.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of them, a lot of them are younger players or they're not proven players. He's the man, right?
Being a producer for one of those, like a big game like that has got to be a lot of fun. The close-ups on, like, the upset faces are what made it for me.
Did you see the face of Eli Manning... or rips off Peyton mask or something?
Oh, where he's holding the head? Yeah, I think I saw that.
I don't know if I can find it. But I guess it's not showing up. Someone tweeted it yesterday, but basically it was, it was the Broncos jersey, but Eli's face, and he was holding a Peyton mask. It's like, surprise, I'm actually Eli.
Like, some of those fourth quarter, like, when there's 5 minutes left, they showed the close-ups, like, when the Broncos were on defense and the offensive line, and they were sitting there like, I wish I could just go to the locker room right now. I don't want to be here.
Peyton looked like the world had ended. I felt so bad for him.
I couldn't help but laugh. It cracked me up. There were some pretty good tweets that went out. Kept my Super Bowl time interesting, but it was interesting. It was interesting. So we are loaded into the game, guys. Mag finally was able to connect. Looks like they were able to pick up the loose airplane parts that flew into his house, and
went to the local land center. Maybe he just like took over commandeered the plane after it landed. But yeah, we're back into it.
So a quick AP. Hopefully everyone will load in a timely manner. And we'll get what could be our last game underway. I like this speed draft a little bit more. A lot on the back of Sing Sing, though. I think this Rasta needs to be the playmaker again. If they shut him down, it'll be a little difficult for Speed to grab that momentum. But if Rasta has a good time mid, maybe some of the supports come his way. Maybe if Chen can get a nice early gank off, then Speed will be in good shape, in my opinion.
It's how they use the wards. A lot of teams run Shadow Shaman and just drop wards for kills, and that is almost always a mistake, unless you get 2 or 3 kills. Also, they are dire side, and the one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is maybe we see them try to use the wards for an early Roche. You can't do that
cheesy
glitch.
Block,
that cheesy glitch from the previous patch where you just solo Roche.
Roche picked up his phase boots.
Yeah, Roche got phase boots, but they can still kill Roche early with the Chen creeps and the wards, so it's still viable with this draft. But Empire are good at scouting Roche. The Remnants can give you high ground vision. The Ancient Apparition ult's probably the best form of vision that they have. So if Speed want to do that, they're going to need some map control first. But yeah, how they use the wards will define this game. If Speed used them effectively to take towers and other key objectives like Roche, I think they're in good shape. And if they waste them, or if Saint Sing gets ganked and is forced to drop them, then it's going to be a very tough game.
I definitely agree with that analysis, LD. Chen will start off with a Smoke of Deceit, so it seems that Owie 2000 will at least attempt to be aggressive in this early game, and we'll see how that works for him. Waiting for these lanes to settle down, and then we can introduce our rosters.
So nobody actually was mad about the Manning-Brady comment? It was all, why are you talking about hand egg? It's not real football.
Just mad that we're talking about North American football.
Don't be jealous, guys. Don't be jealous of how awesome America is. America.
Some jelly bellies.
There were some angry Europeans yesterday on Twitter.
There were some pretty good commercials yesterday as well.
You know, but everyone's watching, right? They're all flaming it, but most of them were watching.
So. Yeah, right. I did like that one Sarah McLachlan commercial where she made fun of herself with those silly animal commercials. That was the highlight of my Super Bowl, I think.
I missed most of the commercials.
Yeah, you were working while I was slacking watching football.
What else is new?
Hard work, dedication. LD can't even take some time to watch the Super Bowl.
I watched a little bit, but not the commercials. Yeah. I don't care about the commercials that much.
It was better once we found the official stream. We were watching the BBC broadcast.
We were watching the BBC restream, so they would like cut away from the game to listen to some British guy who has no idea about
North American football.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So, all right, let's get into the game here. Speed Gaming have decided how they want these lanes to go, and it will be Sing Sing in the mid playing on the Shadow Shaman, though he'll have his work cut out for him as he's up against a dual lane mid, a Luna with a double damage rune, and Vanscore on that Dazzle. Now, up top, Speed Gaming will have EE Sama on the Lifestealer, and he will be supported by Pylai Dai on the CM, already getting aggressive on the Nyx Assassin. I don't know they'll be able to secure a kill, but they do push him back with that opening push. And, of course, Bone 7 will be in the bottom lane on the solo Clockwork.
All right, on Empire, Resolution on the Storm Spirit safe lane. We have a support, always want to fly, Ancient Apparition. In the mid lane, dual lane, Vangscore on the Dazzle. Had a great performance last time he played it. His Silencer got banned. Can he step it up with the Dazzle? We'll have to wait and see. Silent, your Kairi Luna, and top lane. The man who's going to have the worst time this game for Empire is definitely Mag on the off-lane Lifestealer. Off-lane Nyx.
Yeah.
Once Lifestealer gets phase boots and like level 3 or 4, it's miserable. He can dive you at tower and kill you at tower, and especially if CM's there. And God forbid AUI gank. So for speed, I think that's the best lane to put pressure on early. They can smoke gank, push the tower, and then wrap around with the Chen to kill the Nyx and then take the tower as well. If Mag dies, this tower falls. So Mag's kind of the key weak point here for Speed Gaming because of the lane matchup.
Yeah, and hopefully Bone 7 has a slightly better time. He's up against kind of the solo Storm, always want to fly his nearby pulling, and we see Bone 7 just leeching some of that experience and will ding level 2. And we've seen this disparity before where Clockwork can have a little bit more room, maybe hits level 6 more quickly, and Nyx Assassin, if he doesn't hit level 6 for that Vendetta in a timely manner, he very quickly becomes more of a liability than an asset, and we could even see some rotations to give him solo mid and to make up some of that XP that's lost. Sing Sing seems to be handling himself well in this mid lane, as it is a 1v2 lane, sitting 5-1 against the 13-5 Luna, so of course falling behind in CS, but he is holding his own, maintaining lane presence, and most importantly, getting that valuable experience.
Yeah, I'm just keeping my eyes on Mag, because the second that Envy gets phase boots, or even just regular boots, it's an opportunity to dive him, and Mag is almost out of regen already, only 2 tangos remaining. So mid lane, it's a Dazzle Luna. If it was like CM Luna for Empire, there's a pretty high chance they could kill Sing Sing. They could still kill him, but it's going to be a lot more difficult.
Well, we see Dazzle holding his points right now. Vanscore close to level 3, has yet to skill anything. So waiting to decide if he needs to go more defensive with an early point in Grave, or if he can have the luxury of leveling up Poison Touch primary, possibly, and setting up a kill. We will see.
AUI is Smoke. AUI, such an efficient jungler, already level 4, and
wow.
I gotta say, you compare this to, I think it was E-Hugs Chen, where he kind of was, he was ganking, then he was farming.
No-Tails Chen as well was very gank intensive.
Well, No-Tail was just ganky a lot, but the E-Hug Chen was very indecisive. And AUI, not indecisive at all. Just AFK jungle, hits level 4, says, you know what, good time to smoke, but he's actually heading bottom, which is an interesting choice.
Always want to fly.
They can kill Ancient Apparition if he gets caught here. But
there is a gap in the trees, of course, where he was able to pull from. So
oh no, they've seen the clock here. He could tango through if he needs to, but the Chen's coming.
Uh-oh, Bone 7 will use the Battery Assault to start things off. There's the Cogs. In comes the Storm Spirit. Bone 7 now on the back foot. Will get frozen from the Ancient Apparition. He survives long enough to secure the first blood. Clockwork the one to grab the bonus gold. Resolution will find a return kill, and that makes it a 1-for-1. Aui 2000 successful with his first gank.
Not a bad kill. Speed do get first blood, but Storm gets fed a kill. He's almost level 6, and the thing is they don't transition into a push, so it's a good kill for Speed, but that's why I think ganking the offlane is a lot stronger, because you can actually push the tower right away off of
Haste
that.
rune on Resolution. He's looking for an opening onto Aui, and he'll find it.
Aui was going to deny the rune, and now he's going to die.
Yep.
Poor guy.
Maybe.
He's trying his best here.
Bone 7, he's on his way in. Maybe he'll survive. He will stand his ground. That Mud Golem
grave.
actually doing a bit of extra damage. Yep, Shallow Grave comes out on Resolution. Now Bone 7 in
go back
big trouble. This will be a 2-for-0 swing in favor of Empire. Oh, the misplays from Speed.
Also just the great play. That was just some bad luck as well. Haste rune goes bottom. They don't have a ward here, and right as he goes to deny it, which oftentimes you can get away with, the Storm's there with the haste. Then he dies. They almost kill the Storm, but then they get a grave off, and he still has haste, and he's able to run away as the Cogs end. Yep. Just a series of unfortunate events, but I would say still I think ganking the offlane is a much stronger choice for Speed. Maybe not anymore, because now Storm is level 6 at 5 minutes in, and if he carries a TP, he could turn the fight.
Yeah. Good rotation from Dazzle as well. We saw, as I mentioned, Vanscore saving those points. He is now at level 5 with 3 points in Poisoning Touch, so this classic, very aggressive Dazzle build might be able to set up a kill onto Sing Sing. We see him on the high ground here. This is a Radiant Ward, and he's going to throw down another one just to secure map vision. Just in case that one wasn't enough. Just, you know, it is going down reasonably soon, but a little bit of overlapping vision there.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but it did look a little funny at first. I was like, wait, that wasn't 2 wards in a row, right? But yeah. Against Chen, yeah, you want to have this jungle vision. This is a common area to smoke, is like around here. Sometimes you'll smoke more back
And
this way.
speak of the devil, he will smoke up, but will avoid the vision. Smart play from Aoi 2000. As you would say, LD, great game sense.
But unfortunately, Mag's checking the top rune and might reveal the smoke. AUI doesn't want to get caught, but now there's a regen bottom.
Yep. Bone 7 picks it up. Vanscore there to throw a bit of harassment. And that Poison Touch will tick him down just a little. So a little bittersweet. Grabs the regeneration rune and walks away with about half health.
They're going to try and make this push happen top. They really want to catch Mag at the tower with the wave. And do they have a double wave? Yes, they do. So they're going to have 2 waves pushing into the tower. There's no Bassi here, but it shouldn't matter too much. This Nyx probably going to die. Are there any TPs ready on the side of Empire? Just the Nyx, so he's not going to have any help.
We'll see if they're able to make this dive happen. Lifestealer did not go for Phase Boots first to make it an easy kill. Instead, he went the more greedy build. Hand of Midas first. I think it makes sense here, though. As
he knows.
Eternal Envy has had quite a bit of room to farm. There's the wraparound from Chen, as well as the Rasta from the mid lane.
They should save wards and go for 2 here, and it looks like they are going to do that.
Nice to have that Wild Wing Ripper as well. The Toughness Aura does assist in these kind of pushing scenarios. We see.
Oh, the creeps, they're so low.
The Ether Shock, the heal from the Shadow Shaman will help delay this push, but it won't be enough. First tower falls in favor of speed here at the 7-minute mark.
They still have wards. They can go for this next tower, but it's still kind of risky. Ancient Apparition, fortunately, not level 6. Storm is level 7, though, and does have a TP. And Silent no TP. So with Silent not having one, this is probably a dead tier 2.
Yeah,
but they're already TPing the Ancient Apparition in. I don't know if they're really going to force the defense.
They do have a glyph available, so they might have an opportunity to make a hole. That Wild Wing Ripper, a double fold good creep, as now they're using the Tornado to try and zone out the forces of Empire. The glyph does come. Perhaps.
Meanwhile, Clock hooks in mid, finds Silent.
Oh, Silent in big trouble. Battery Assault doing a lot of damage. This should be a solo kill onto the Luna. Indeed it will. The tier 2 tower in the top lane falls. Speed come out the victors here by a huge margin, but Eternal Envy, he is all alone. He does have Infest, but needs to be careful.
They can't kill him.
Yeah, the ward's nearby.
If they had a level 6 Nyx, they could like run in and impale him, and maybe then, but even then he can just rage, and I don't think they have the burst.
Yeah.
They saw that hook shot coming, or Silent should have, but he only had like a second or 2 to react. But Clock was standing up here when he hooked in, so if he had just been watching the minimap, might have been able to live. Unfortunately, was not the case, but he still has Midas, so he'll still farm well.
Meanwhile, during that entire exchange, Storm was able to continue farming, and now Resolution has his power treads up, was also able to bottle up an invisibility rune. So a good exchange for speed, of course, getting a tier 2 tower already, but it did create some space for Resolution to well, continue on.
Man, this Clock is huge. Blade Mail already? I guess it is a naked Blade Mail, which is kind of unorthodox, but
yeah.
He loves Blade Mail. And imagine Luna eclipsing and then Clock pops Blade Mail. Everybody dies. A lot of these heroes are pretty low HP, so Bone 7 is definitely a player known for his unorthodox item builds. He pioneered
the
Mask
Armlet
of Madness
build,
Bat.
wasn't it? On Clockwork, wasn't that the
Mask of
Bone
Madness
7?
Bat, Armlet Clock, Orchid Clock, Blade Mail Rush Clock now. This guy does it all.
Everything with Clockwork.
He's allergic to normal item builds, but hey, a lot of his builds are really effective, so
Yeah.
can't criticize him too much. For Empire right now, they need level 6 on Ancient Apparition, and they need it bad. Until he's level 6, it's quite hard for them to contest towers. Also, not just him, but the Nyx as well. At least forcing speed to buy sentries, delay the mech timing a bit for AUI perhaps, who has Arcanes and Buckler. Despite that previous death, he is still farming pretty well. So yeah, Ancient Apparition ult, Nyx ult, for me, the 2 main things. And aside from that, just not getting picked off. When you get picked off against the push lineup, they take towers. So
yeah,
got to play this one safe, and especially with Midas Luna, dying is really going to hurt your ability to fight.
And they do have decent ward coverage to try and avoid untimely death, the one that we saw in the Dire jungle, as well as one on the high ground here as an entrance into the Radiant jungle. So they've got their bases covered at least. However, Speed Gaming will move into the Roche pit here at the 10-minute mark. Still that Wild Wing Ripper, making things a bit easier. And of course, the Serpent wards come down.
Did they smoke in here? I wasn't actually watching.
I didn't.
Because there's a
I
Radiant
didn't
Observer,
see.
and if they didn't smoke, if they came from the left ramp, they would have been spotted.
Yeah, it may have been. It looks like
I wasn't watching, unfortunately.
wanna
but
try
I
to
think
give-
they do know. Here comes the A ult.
Yeah, well, they certainly know now, and it looks like they wanted to try and give the solo XP.
They can
to Ally
force this.
2000.
Here comes Storm. He's going to find AUI.
No. Shen in big trouble, does have the Hand of God, won't even be able to use it. And now these wards almost working against Speed. It's a 5v4 on the field, and the wards will continue to do damage to Roche. Eternal Envy going to go in. He is going to finish Roche and grab the Aegis for himself. Mag in big trouble, but does get the Shallow Grave. There's the Eclipse from Luna doing a fair bit of damage and secures the kill onto the Clockwork. So it's a 2-for-0 exchange, but don't forget, Speed did secure the Roshan and also have the Aegis on their Lifestealer. Sing Sing in big trouble, the negative earn, almost enough, but in comes the Hand of God from Chen. Eternal Envy falls. Crystal Maiden got picked off in the fray.
Oh, boy.
Don't know that this was worth it for Speed Gaming, LD.
Not worth it.
Not worth it.
Who got the... Storm got the triple kill. Oh, boy.
5-0-1 already on Resolution.
And there's an H apparition ult cooling down. Actually, he's got it. He doesn't have mana, so you can see Sing taking the very long route back to base. Does not want to get sniped. And
Hand of God did save him there.
yeah. Just picking AUI off at the beginning of the fight, if they had Hand of God during the main engagement, it might have been a different fight, but that's where, you know, yeah, this team is good at taking Roche with wards and Chen creeps, but they just waltzed into the pit, and I'm pretty sure they were spotted, because
Yeah.
Empire were very quick to react. And they also, the tier 1 mid was up, and the tier 1 bottom was up. Normally when you go for an early Roche, as Speed Gaming is smoking to the top side of the map, you want to secure map control so they can't even get there in time to contest. Speed playing a little overzealous, and if Storm gets Orchid, how is Speed going to kill him?
Yeah.
They just have to hope Shadow Shaman gets the range for Hex, because he ain't got no Blink Dagger, man.
Yeah. And, oh, their smoke will be revealed by Vanscore. They put a ward down, but Vanscore going to walk right into him as they had the high ground. And Dazzle will be able to Shallow Grave himself. That repels their forces. Not over yet, as now Pylai Die in big trouble. Resolution zipping forward. And I think Pylai Die will be hard-pressed to survive this one. He moves into the trees, but yeah, just buys himself a couple of seconds. Empire add another one to the scoreboard, 7-2 here at the 12-minute mark.
Everybody's farming. Luna's got Midas, leader in terms of CS. Isn't leader in terms of net worth, but the gold is a bit deceptive because a lot of that is Roche gold and the tower gold top, which the tower gold will equalize at some point, and this Storm's very big. He's going to have Orchid by like 15 minutes. Speed are going to have to find some good fights. They dropped the wards bottom, but there's not. The team isn't here, so this is just going to be gold for Empire.
Yep.
That's a miscommunication. You really want to push the wards with the Chen creeps and the rest of the team, and just dropping them like that, you know, what are they going to do now? They have to wait for the wards to cool down to really get active.
Yeah, and that's a nice 300 gold bounty or so, going the way of Silent. About 30 gold apiece, 9 wards come down. That adds up pretty quick, LD.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold to a hero that's already getting a lot with the Midas, so costly. And now they're going to try and group up and push mid, but they don't have wards, so
Yeah.
this is why I was saying in the draft, when you run Shadow Shaman mid, using the wards correctly pretty much decides the game in most cases, and that ward usage has not been the best yet, but there is an Infest Bomb bottom.
They may
This
have
could be a big engagement. Remember the Graves here, so even if they jump on someone, it's not an easy kill.
Armlet is up on the Lifestealer as well. They do engage onto Silent. Shallow Grave comes out in time, and he will avoid death, at least for now. Out comes the Eclipse to do some return damage. It's a 1-for-1 as the fight starts off. Sing Sing now coming in with just a few hit points to spare, looking for a disable
Storm's
on Mag.
coming.
Oh, Storm hasn't even joined the battle yet. This could be a disaster for Speed Gaming as they turn it around. Pylai Die, the target of choice from Resolution, and he secures the kill. Not going to pursue into the tower, but it will be a 2-for-3 when it's all said and done.
Dazzle won them that fight. Luna gets
Dazzle.
off Eclipse. I think it hit 2 or 3 heroes, but they kept her aura alive longer, and just keeping the aura around makes everyone do more damage. So hard to go in against the Dazzle, and if you can't burst anyone down, and especially when it's a Luna, that's a carry you just want to kill before the fight begins. Some carries, if they live a little longer, okay, but not Luna. She lives, the fight gets very hard.
Now, Resolution is the one that's out of control here, but Eternal Envy is still maintaining his top position on the net worth chart, so his farm still not too shabby. Again, he has that Armlet, which was picked up right before that fight. That Midas has kicked in, but will it be enough is the question.
Meanwhile, always want to fly. Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, he is going to try to pour it out. It's going to be a close call, and he makes it. Oh boy, one more auto attack and would have secured that kill. But the Orchid is up on Storm, which is really what's scary right now.
He can solo kill Crystal Maiden, he can solo kill the Shadow Shaman, and he can solo kill the Chen. Potentially the Clockwork. Right now he could because he has 700 health. The only one he can't easily is Lifestealer, but yeah, if they... One bad engagement mid, and this Storm is going to be too big.
AA ulti, Storm, going to be looking for an opening. The wards are down, should be able to finish off this tower. As the glyph was used, look for the deny. Dazzle will secure the deny. Well done by Vanscore. And that's where this fight will settle
Meanwhile,
down.
top lane, it looks like there was a hook in on Silent. Bone 7, can he run him down here? There's no tier 2 to TP to. I don't think he's going to get the kill, though. There's backup.
No, Bone 7 will overcommit. The heal comes in from Dazzle, and the return damage to secure that kill.
Speed just not playing as a team. Sing walking in bottom lane, dropping wards with no Chen creeps there. Now Bone 7 diving for kills by himself. It's a team game, but they're each doing their own things. I'm not sure if it's someone's on the phone or they're just tired, but the communication is not where it needs to be. And Empire, they've always 5 heroes at the point of attack.
Yeah. So even though Lifestealer is farming well, I just don't think it's going to be enough. The Storm and the Luna will certainly outcarry him, and we're already starting to see the effects of that as they start to get the core items up. Luna hasn't seen the benefit of that Hand of Midas too much, does have the casual Morbid Mask and now a Mithril Hammer, probably looking for the casual mask into BKB and then the Helm of the Dominator. Not the greediest Luna build, which will give, well, Empire the opportunity to take more team fights, as aggression is usually on the forefront of Empire's minds.
It really is. Even when they draft what looks like a greedier lineup, they still want to fight. They love fighting, and they're very good at it, so why not? Sing picked up Blink, and AUI picked up Mech. 2 big items for speed. They're coming a bit late, but still with a Blink. This Storm is squishy. 700, 800 health. If you Blink Hex him, he's dead. So they could kill the Storm with this. They can kill the Luna, who doesn't have BKB yet. This Blink could turn the game back in their favor. It's looking really bad for speed. I mean, gold's even, but that's with a tower advantage of 3 towers to 1 and the Roche kill. So it's looking bad for speed, but this could turn the game.
Yeah, 5-man smoke as they head down to the bottom lane.
But Empire seem to know. Look at them.
Yeah, good game sense. They're hiding behind this bottom tier 1 tower. Will force them to reveal themselves should they want to dive. And I don't think they'll find that opening. The good thing is they have Clockwork, so all they have to do is catch wind.
He poked out his head. Now Pylite Eye's been spotted. The backup can arrive soon.
The rocket, hook shot, will connect with Silent. He doesn't have the Infest Bomb with him. Lifestealer is inside of Sing at the moment. The Blade Mail gets popped. Sing comes in, and oh no, this Rasta's in big trouble. He gets the Orchid, doesn't get the wards down. This is a disaster for Speed Gaming. They secure the kill onto Luna, but it costs them 4 of their members. Chen, the lone survivor, and not for long. A 1-for-5 exchange. Empire looking like they could take a possible 2-0 series, LD.
Oh my goodness, this Storm is so fat. 8-0-4 resolution doing work. Game 1, he used 12, was it 12-1-8 on bat? This game, he is out of his mind already. 8-0-4. Empire is playing amazing Dota, and Speed, not so amazing Dota. This is not their best performance for sure.
Yeah, certainly not. Following that fight, Nyx will be able to grab a Blink Dagger, so Mag, the one we were worried about, has made a good recovery. Of course, these team fights helping quite a bit. He now has initiation power, and of course will be a bit more elusive himself. Luna, unfortunately for Empire, did get killed before that fight, really settled down, so didn't reap the benefits of the success, didn't get the experience in gold. Still a ways off the BKB, but obviously a worthy exchange, even though it was their carry that got picked off.
And once again, Dazzle turning the fights in the right place at the right time to grave the carry yet again. Dazzle, indeed. He's been in the right place, and it's just, if you don't catch the Dazzle, you don't kill the Luna. That's just how it works, and then the fight turns. That was a pretty risky dive for Speed because CM got revealed under tower. They all knew the gank was coming, and that's why Empire seemed to be there relatively quickly. They were already suspicious hiding behind the tower. The position was really good from Vangscore once again, and it's just Speed. They know how their draft works. They know the way the game's developed. They can't sit back and farm.
Yeah.
Now they kind of have no choice, but that was a necessary risk. It just was a very low percentage engagement the way it developed.
Right. And now experience is becoming a big problem. If you look at the level chart, Speed's heroes very quickly becoming underleveled. Crystal Maiden and Chen, 2 of the lowest levels in the game. And also Bone 7 has kind of fallen off. He's only level 9, and his counterpart Nyx Assassin is now level 11, and of course has secured that level 2 ultimate, which is huge for a Nyx Assassin. Even Sing only level 10.
There's a Lifestealer Bomb going top.
Really needs those the level 2 wards for this
Yeah,
pushing
the level
strat.
2 wards are important, but
Yeah.
at this point, with Luna, you could just right-click the wards. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. They're weak against physical damage. Then I think they can. The Luna might be able to one-shot them at this point. She's close to anyway.
Do the Luna glaives bounce to the other ones, or is that
No,
2 Imba?
no.
Yeah, that would be 2 Imba.
But she still has a lot of damage, and they've gone in top.
Oh, here we go. And oh, I just caught the very tail end of it as I saw that tower down bottom fall. Easy kill on the solo Ancient Apparition. Not much he could have done there.
2 big wins for Speed. They take a tower, they get a kill, but it is only the Ancient Apparition, not the end of the world for Empire. If Speed come to defend this tower, this is going to be very bad, but they're not. And now Empire's making a move top.
Yep.
Very hard to see Eternal Envy living through this. They can just zip in, silence him, and then he will not be able to rage. Unless he runs right now.
And he has no TP either, so even if he finds a space in the fog, nowhere for him to go. Mag with
boy.
Vendetta on.
Oh
He
boy.
will scout it out. That is a dead Eternal Envy. Impale.
What? That was a really
Orchid.
long-range impale. Wow.
Godlike streak for Resolution.
Just in range, I guess. Our Speed going to try to take Roche. Lifestealer's down. They have wards, but the Radiant team, they've got some vision here, and the AL comes right in. This ain't going to
Oh,
happen.
no. And again, oh, actually, Bone 7 possibly in a little bit of trouble here.
He'll be okay, but he's just going to have to go base now.
Overestimating that level 1 Ancient Apparition ulti.
And now the wards might die to Roche. No, they're trying to keep them alive, but here comes Nyx.
This could end up being a double-edged sword. Even if they want to give up on Roshan, the wards will still do damage and may actually help out Empire a little bit if they want to come in and snipe Roshan, finish off that last hit, and grab the Aegis. Aoi committed to the pit, as is
This is
Pylai
game
Die.
if they lose this fight. This is game if they lose.
Oh no. Empire are posturing around. They're looking for the perfect opening. Roche getting very low. And he's turning. That is a big chicken. He will go down to the Dire. And the Aegis does get picked up by Sing Sing. Now the fight's going to start. Right away, the Aegis gets popped, and the rest of Speed get completely annihilated. Eternal Envy, the only one alive, less that of Sing. And he did get sent back to the well. So, still a disaster.
The Roche is just not worth it at this point. Like, Empire, even if they had kept the Aegis alive, Shadow Shaman with Aegis is not that scary. He drops wards either before he dies or after he respawns, and that's
Right.
it. Maybe you get 2 hexes off. They don't have the lockdown to deal with a farm storm. Their lineup was built around taking towers early. They failed to do that, and it's pretty hard to see them coming back at this point. I would say they have like a 5% chance, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it really is looking grim. They have a pushing lineup. The pushing didn't work. And now what do? You don't have the carry advantage. Storm is out of control. You don't really have the crowd controls to shut that Storm down. Sing is really the only one with the CCs to try and initiate onto Storm. But Empire have been so good about dodging the Rasta and making sure Resolution has the opening he
Envy?
needs. Down bottom, Envy in big trouble. He does have a port this time, but it's still on cooldown. Even if he finds a place in Fog, not going to make the great escape, and he will get picked off as Mag joins the battle and right-clicks a Force Staff.
That was a pretty sexy play by the Nyx. Just blinks in that Vendettas immediately, and it's like, pow, right in the kissa. I like that. Often, you
Boom,
could
boom,
have
pow.
just blinked in and impaled, but the Vendetta is just like punching him in the mouth.
Just
so.
for good measure.
Normally, Lifestealer is the one punching Nyx in the mouth, so it's a rare opportunity for Nyx to get even. And Empire top lane, they may lose a few heroes here. They do have level 3 Eclipse, though.
Oh, a nice hook shot. Wards come down straight away. Dazzle gets off a defensive weave. Grave on the Dazzle uses the Grave on Luna. Buys him some time, but unfortunately not enough. They do secure a couple of kills onto Speed Gaming. The Lifestealer was dead, so they managed to pick off the Clockwork. A 2-for-1, still a great exchange for Speed, but not perfect.
Yeah, that's about all they're going to get at this point, with Empire really overextended out of position. That was level 2 Eclipse, by the way, not level 3, so I misspoke there. But
Oh, yeah.
I think she would have died before getting the full Eclipse off anyway.
And look at Resolution. Second item, Lincoln Sphere, recognizing that Speed don't have a lot to lock him down. They're going to he's going to make the life of Sing Sing that much more difficult. Will find himself into a free Centaur kill there. But I really like the Lincoln's choice here.
Yep, what are they going to do now? They can't blink Hex him.
Yeah.
You hook him, it's not a long enough stun. Maybe they can hook him, blink,
Blink, Ether Shock,
and
Hex.
then
but,
Hex? Yeah,
that's
but
still...
and they just smoked, and Mag
Yeah.
reveals it and blinks out. Speed are just what an awful day for Speed.
Yeah,
Poor
they
guy.
just-
Bad luck.
They can't catch a
some
break.
mistakes and just they can't catch a break. That's the perfect way to put it.
I mean, again, this game still a little bit of RNG going the way of Empire in that opening Haste Rune debacle with Aoi 2000. That was an unfortunate way for that bottom lane to kind of open up after their successful gank. So Speed certainly not playing at their best, but they have had a couple of unfortunate instances where
they're going bottom.
You can't quite plan against that.
But all these ganks are on the Ancient Apparition, so even if they get the kill, so what? Luna's still farming, Storm's still farming. It's, you know, it's all they can do, I guess, but it just doesn't change the game that much to kill this Ancient Apparition.
Yeah. Sing Sing working towards an Ag Scepter, does have the point booster as well as the Ogre Club, but still about 1,300 off, finishing the Scepter. He is now level 11, so at least has level 2 wards, and with the surprise inside, perhaps looking for an opportunity, but Mag on a similar front. There's the AA ulti. He will walk into a Sentry. This could cost Nyx Assassin his life. He will hop outside of the cogs with the Force Staff, but not enough to ensure his survival.
Now they're going to bring 4 mid. They are fighting without a key team fight specialist, and there's no Eclipse, so...
Key team fight specialist. I like that. It's a good way to describe Nyx. He's a specialist in team fight. It's good. I've just never heard that string of words used to describe the Nyx Assassin.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Silent doesn't have Eclipse. Sing Sing might. Does he have Vision? Now he does.
Oh, Silent in trouble. There's the Hex initiation. Wards come down. The Infest Bomb. That's an easy kill on Luna. Those are the kind of plays Speed need to get back in this game.
Empire's getting a little sloppy.
Yeah.
This is quite a few. The engagement top was pretty questionable to stay there when they only had 3. Oh. And neither of their 2 big team fighters, the Storm and the Nyx. And that was just, you know, Luna off on her own. I guess she's gotten spoiled by having Vankskor backing her up. And Silent, no Luna. Now there's a big zip in top.
And Pylai in trouble. The wards are not available for this fight. Not the best time to engage for Speed. They're trying to lock down Storm. Even Cogs come out. And he will just zip out back to safety.
Sing Sing couldn't blink Hex because he was hit by the Ancient Apparition ult, but now he can.
Oh, he does blink forward. Looking for the Hex on Vankskor. Won't find it, and Speed Gaming will just retreat.
Why is he sticking around? Now he wants to TP out. Yeah, I guess he thought they were coming from the backside, but Speed were actually backing off. He'll get out.
So Empire conceding a few unnecessary deaths. All in all, still looking very good for them. A large golden experience lead, about 7,500 gold, somewhere about 12,000 experience. They can afford to make some of these sloppy plays, but...
Every time Aeol is up, just look at it go. And, oh god! That Crystal Maiden just got sniped top by the original.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. Uh-oh.
Oh, now Mag is going to find Sing Sing.
Oh, no.
But he's going to walk into a Sentry.
Oh, no.
Did they see him? Oh, yeah. Oh, they saw him, baby.
Oh, Mag, you're in big trouble. There's the Hex, the Shackle, and that's another one on the scoreboard.
This Ancient Apparition and Storm combo is surprisingly scary. Every time Ancient Apparition ult is up, they get a Storm zips in, silences them, hits them like once or twice, and then just zips out, and it's usually a kill. So,
Invisibility rune on Resolution. He is going to rotate towards the Dire Ancient. Possibly could have picked up a kill on Eternal Envy there, but unfortunately didn't scout the high ground, and he will just clear up the Ancients and walk away. Now let's talk about some of these items that have been picked up, because since our last engage, there have been some big ones. Ag Scepter on the Shadow Shaman, which is huge for Sing Sing.
No.
But Eternal Envy needs to be cautious down here. He is all alone.
They can go on him. His rage is going to end. But that is a really long dive. So
yeah. Hey, ulti did connect, but yeah, not enough. Basher also up on Eternal Envy, who has now hit level 16. Ghost Scepter on the AA. And Luna with BKB, Yasha, and Helma the Dominator. So still not that scary, but well on her way to becoming a potent right-click carry. Oh, and there's the Manta actually complete in the bank.
Yeah, she should have had that sooner. The unnecessary death. Silent is 5-5, and that's with Vankskor bailing him out a lot this game. And, I mean, he would have died in those fights without Vankskor, or he did die even with Vankskor, but at least he got some kills and some experience in the death process. So
yeah,
with Manta, it'll make Lifestealer's life a lot more difficult. It's harder to tell who the real Luna is, and also removes open wound. So good item pickups are across the board. Empire they should be way farther ahead. They've won 2 crucial Roche engagements. They even up the tower count. They're not as far ahead as I would have expected. I still think their lineup matches up way better late game, but Blink Hex on Shadow Shaman, I mean, it is a very strong pickoff, so Empire just need to tighten the bolts, basically, and play more disciplined Dota.
Yeah, I think if we actually see a true 5-on-5 engage, Empire should be able to pretty much steamroll Speed. Of course, depending who gets the initiation, but these last few engagements and picks that Speed have gotten have been outnumbered solo kills, where Empire have been just greedy, farming the map, trying to get those next core items. Though it looks like they will group up with at least a 4-man push headed towards the top lane. Silent is in the mid, but very close. Very close by. Maybe they'll group up and try and pressure this top tier 2 tower and force a fight. Or maybe not.
Roche could be up right about now if it was an 8-minute Roche, but it's actually an 11-minute Roche respawn.
The longest Roche spawns.
Since Empire don't know, and they haven't scouted it yet with A ult, they've got to go contest it, and that's what they're going to do. Smoke towards mid, shoot the A ult bottom, which does mean there's no A ult for a Roche fight.
Yep.
But Speed are... Well, I mean, there's no Roche, but the teams could still end up fighting there is what I'm saying. And, well, Speed's just backing off. There's your Orchid on clock. This could be big. Yep. That's another way to break Linken's. And if they do manage to Orchid the Storm, he is killable.
Yeah, absolutely. Storm, well, yeah, the Linken's helping out. Now he has an ultimate, another ultimate orb, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah,
but
Hex should be coming out soon, but Vangscore's going to get caught. There's no grave for this fight.
There's that Orchid on the Clockwork starting to come in handy. They will secure a kill on a pretty high priority target for a team fight.
Huge kill. Yeah, this Luna can actually die now, and they've got to back with it. They don't want to fight without Dazzle. I'd say Ancient Apparition is the least important here on Empire, but the rest are pretty crucial to their team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, the team fight will peter out. But speaking of Ancient Apparition, he's reasonably close to finishing his Ag Scepter. Does have the first 3 pieces and only 50 gold in the bank, but we'll be saving up for that Blade of Alacrity. Meanwhile, in Speedland, Eternal Envy going to be able to finish up his Abyssal Blade.
Yeah, another big item versus Storm. They're starting to get the lockdown they didn't have before. The Orchid, the Abyssal Blade, and this would not have happened if Empire didn't get picked off so many times. And now maybe bottom lane, they get picked off again. They actually want to go in on Bone 7.
Zip forward, Bone 7 in big trouble. He'll get dropped like he's hot to start off this fight. Dazzle just now respawning, ports to the bottom tier 2 tower, and he'll be able to join this team as they start chipping away at the tier 2 down bottom. That is Speed's Initiator, a great target to pick off, and now Speed will be forced to just watch their tier 2 die in the bottom. Glyph available.
They're thinking otherwise. Here comes Sing Sing. Infest Bomb. Are they really contesting this?
I think this is a risky play, but they're going to go for it. They'll drop Silent to start off the fight now. And the wards come down, of course. Nyx Assassin gets the grave. Meanwhile, Shadow Shaman has fallen.
This Luna's just melting. She doesn't get to fight. There was no grave. They didn't even have a chance for it. And they take 3. They defend the tower.
Okay.
The tower was it denied? I didn't actually see.
I didn't see.
Either way, a big win for Speed. And wouldn't you know it, the awful luck. Roche is dead for 30 seconds, but I think, well, Empire's going to have what? They'll respawn when Roche is like 10 seconds off from respawning, around there. Something like that. So it's still going to be hard for Empire to contest. Are they throwing this game away? I wouldn't say they've thrown it away yet, but they need to not go on heroes like Clockwork. He is not the hero you want to jump on. The Shadow Shaman, the Chen, those are the high priority, the high value targets that you can kill quickly and easily.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a little bit more of a disaster for Speed, but they executed very well, and they were able to burst Luna before the grave came out. Dazzle saved the grave. Well, I don't think he intentionally saved it, but had it available for the Nyx Assassin, which bought him a little bit of time. But very well done by Speed Gaming, showing us a sign of life, perhaps. Now that Roshan is up, they were trying to take it, but AA, on point with the ultimates, does push them back. And also, Storm has picked up a sheep stick following that team fight, so still not out of the clear yet for Speed Gaming.
Yeah, he's still very fat Storm, and very fat late game Storm is always terrifying. But there's no Doom on his side this game, so and you can really see where the Doom ban helps a lot. If they had a Doom and they had this kind of lead, Speed would have no chance.
Yeah.
Even if they blink in, someone's getting doomed, and then that's an instant 5v4 team fight, and it should be an easy win for Empire. So the draft for Speed, somewhat bailing them out in that regard. Smart draft from them. Empire going to contest. They do have a gem on Resolution, and they've been dewarding, but they've missed one ward on the hill. Speed know exactly what they're up to, and this could be a big opening.
Roshan taking heavy damage from Empire now. Speed will want to contest. They are starting to group around the pit. Perhaps looking for a hook shot in. Sing Sing with the surprise inside once again. Roche falling very quickly. If they want to do it, they've got to go now. Roche has fallen to the Radiant. Aegis picked up by the Lifestealer, so it was snatched. Shadow Shaman falls, but as does the Luna. This fight erupting into a bit of chaos. Always Want to Fly does port out, and it will be a 1-for-1 exchange.
Cheese and Aegis to the Lifestealer. And the Luna died again without doing anything in the fight. She just dies before she can even pop BKB, even before the Dazzle can grave her. So it seems whoever goes for Roche loses the fight. I mean, sure, they got the Roche kill, but you need the Aegis and Cheese, not the gold.
Yeah. So really,
Speed are turning this game around slowly but surely.
Another big
The
win
graphs
for
were
Speed.
never that bad, but the tempo was awful for them. It was way worse than that gold difference graph showed, but just better execution in the fights and sloppy play from Empire. And
Yeah.
we got ourselves a ball game now, Andrew.
We certainly do. If Speed Gaming can keep this up and keep finding these good initiations, they'll be in good shape. If Empire can find the initiation with a Nyx Assassin, that will be their golden ticket to take a good team fight. Also, of course, Luna maybe using that BKB and then still getting the Eclipse off. But again, the Rasta wards are physical, so even if she gets the BKB off and she's stuck inside the wards, they will do a lot of damage.
She needs evasion right now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it doesn't help her too much if there's a Blink Hex, but if she is able to pop BKB, still Eternal Envy is just chewing through the Luna. This is where Lifestealer, like I think we talked about it the other day, matches up really well against Luna, because when you just go in with Abyssal and BKB, there is nothing she can do except pray that her team backs her up. She's a better teamfight carry, but Lifestealer is the much better just solo killer, single target focus DPS. And yep, Speed Gaming, Aegis Cheese, gold, stabilized. It's still technically elite for Empire, but where's their momentum? They just can't get anything done.
Yeah, well, they will smoke up in their jungle as they rotate towards the bottom lane, but Nyx Assassin with an interesting item choice. 2 Blades of Alacrity. Looks like he'll be going for a Diffusal Blade, an item we don't get to see too frequently, perhaps just to try and help out this Luna so he can cleanse the Hex. Is that what you're thinking with that Diffusal?
On who's going Diffusal?
Nyx. Mag.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's for. I guess that's a really good point, but does he get it off in time? Like, they already have Grave. They just can't they can't Grave the Luna in time. She just dies every fight.
Yeah.
I guess it's one more hero who can help save her, but if they get off the Abyssal, she can still die even if she gets off BKB. It's really the Grave that they need and the Grave that they haven't been able to get.
So, and another silly mechanics question for you here. Obviously, Diffusal cleanses Hex. Will it cleanse Shackle, and will it cleanse Abyssal Blade stun?
Abyssal, I'm actually not sure. I don't know.
Sorry. That wasn't intended to make you look bad. Genuine curiosity there.
I've heard a lot of pros get mechanics wrong, but you know.
Yeah. Well, they are
I don't
funky.
know. I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Yeah. Just 2 other big disables that are helping to lock down this Luna. So Hex, the big one, though. I know for sure it does cleanse Hex. That one is a bit more obvious for sure.
It removes a lot of debuffs, but I don't.
Abyssal is a special one because it goes through BKB. It's kind of a superior stun, if you will.
I'm trying to look it up now, but meanwhile we're gonna have a fight top, so
Yeah.
don't lose track of that.
Looks like Speed Gaming are going to clump up around the top lane, though they're taking their time, being very cautious. Speed Gaming is doing well taking fights around the map, but breaking base is an entirely different story. You know, pushing into a Storm, pushing into a Dazzle, into that high ground, that's where things will be a little bit more difficult, even if Empire are losing that momentum. They're still a ways away from conceding a victory to their
It's not on the list of
opposition
things
here.
that can't be purged, so by process of elimination, I'm going to say it does.
Okay.
But you know, we'll wait and
And that's
see.
Abyssal Blade?
Yeah, the main thing is the Hex anyway, though.
Right. Haste Rune will spawn in the top position here at the 38-minute mark. And Empire may choose to utilize it. Heard a hook shot.
They're going to always want to fly top.
Oh, Ancient Apparition.
But this is bait. This is bait, and I think Speed knows it. No, they're going to go for it.
Sing Sing hops in. The Hex used on Ancient Apparition right away. They will secure that kill. The rest of Empire are on their way in now. And there's the initiation. Hex used on the Shadow Shaman. This time the Eclipse goes off. Lifestealer does pick off the Nyx Assassin, but
They lost Storm. They already lost 3. They can't
no.
fight anymore.
Empire on the back foot as they try to make the great escape. Vanscore and Silent, the only 2 left alive. They were only able to pick off the Shadow Shaman. A noble effort to try and bait it out with that Ancient Apparition, but really working against them. Dazzle not out of the clear. He takes the Orchid. We'll have a Grave. Oh, that cast time. That was painful to watch.
He got bashed. Couldn't do anything.
Wow. So Speed take another convincing team fight, a 1 for 4.
I think they might have won. Are there buybacks here on Empire? They have buyback on Luna, buyback on Storm. So I guess they can defend, but it's still going to be no Eclipse and 3v5.
Oh, no. Silent
3v4.
EV still has the cheese as well as the Aegis. Didn't burn either of them in that last fight. Silent will survive. EE forced to burn the cheese now. Port's coming in. Always want to fly. Gets Orchided and Abyssal straight away. That's a dead Ancient Apparition. That was an awkward place to port into. I'm not sure what he was thinking
That was a bad
there.
place to port into. Is what that was. Maybe he thought Storm was going to buy back, but Storm did not buy back. And, well, they don't actually break base. And Aegis is about to run out, but the tides have turned at this point. Speed. EE's got enough money for MKB or Assault Cuirass, another big item for him. And they're getting close to, I mean, even AUI is not too far off a Hex for that matter. Crystal Maiden has a BKB up. And Shadow Shaman is continuing to get tanky. Sing Sing's going to go BKB next, and at that point you've got... Oh, Storm.
Bone 7 perhaps in a bit of trouble. That Blade Mail doing a lot of return damage, but Resolution finds himself a free kill on the Clockwork. Steps in the right direction. So, we'll see. Empire's still in this game. Like I said, a little bit more difficult for Speed to break the base, even though they've been taking good team fights. Perhaps Empire may have to resort to just turtling up, though if they do that, Speed will, of course, capitalize on all of that room about the map.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, on the bottom...
Mag just impaled the wave to farm it right as EE came in to kill him, so by pure luck, he had no vision, he manages to live. That was literally 100% luck. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're good.
Empire have had a few strokes of luck in this match. Nyx desperately trying to finish that Diffusal Blade. Again, has the 2 Blades of Alacrity, but a little ways off, picking up that Robe of the Magi and the recipe. Oh, Vendetta looking for an opportunity. EE, good game sense as he wanted to farm the Ancients, but Nyx was inbound.
Yeah. Looking at the mid game, how many times have Speed gotten caught since like the 15 to 20 minute mark?
It's been the other way around. It's been all Empire getting caught.
They kept on getting caught. They kept on overextending. They took 2 awful Roche fights, and then it's like somebody just yelled. They got marching orders from a drill sergeant. All of a sudden now they can't make a mistake. I mean, they made a few minor ones, but
yeah,
they haven't been getting their core heroes caught out, and they've always gotten the jump on Empire. I do feel if Empire ever gets the jump on Speed, it will be a fight going the other way. It's not like Empire's out of it. It's just
Speed have taken the momentum.
And Speed just aren't making mistakes. They're not getting caught. If they get the jump, whoever gets the jump wins these fights. That's pretty much how it's going to go.
Now, one thing about these item pickups following that last fight that could go in favor of Empire is this Butterfly on Luna. You mentioned that Lifestealer had enough to either grab MKB or Assault Kuros, and he went for the latter of the two. AC now in the inventory, but no MKB to cut through that evasion. Of course, they do have the Sheeps that we were talking about. The Hex mitigates that evasion, but no MKB will give Silent a little bit additional survivability against those right clicks.
Yeah, Hex is pretty hard to not... It's pretty hard to dodge the Hex with a BKB, but it is possible, so... It's one of those mechanics that could be game-changing. Obviously, Abyssal Blade helps your team survive against Dazzle, who has a ton of minus armor, and it helps you against Luna's right click. So I think both items were a strong choice. If he had seen the Butterfly, I probably think he would have gone MKB, but...
Right.
Well, he can go for it next if he farms it.
I have high hopes in this Nyx Diffusal Blade to purge those Sheeps, keep his Luna alive.
He doesn't have the Robe of the Magi, though.
Yep.
And he's already... Does he have buyback?
No.
Timer, I mean? Yeah, he has the timer.
Yes,
so
he has timer.
He's going for the Diffusal Blade, and if he dies, he won't have buyback because of it. So it can be a game-changing item, but buyback can also be game-changing too.
But at what cost? Speed Gaming will do a 5-man smoke down here in the Radiant Jungle, looking for an opening to catch the jump once again. Sing Sing with the Infest Bomb, now level 16, so those wards will be a bit more potent than they have been in the last team fight.
Empire should be very cautious because they have no vision right now, and Speed are wrapping... Nope, okay. Thought they were going to try and pull around behind the bottom tier too. But they're just going to go straight in. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Looking at the vision, it's completely dark for Empire. Storm. Oh,
bad.
no. Resolution. He's going to walk right into him.
He has the Lincolns, though. It keeps him alive.
He zips away. Now Lifestealer comes in. There's the Abyssal Blade. The Grave comes out. That'll keep him alive. Even the wards burn to try and finish him off. Silent does get the Eclipse off as well as the BKB. He stands his ground. This could be the fight that Empire have been looking for. Crystal Maiden, the only one to go down. Scratch that. The Ancient Apparition falls as well, but they get a Clockwork in exchange. In comes the zip from Resolution. He's feeling bold, and it's going to work. Lifestealer stands his ground against Silent. There's that evasion starting to take an effect, and he wins the duel. Empire finally find the fight they've been looking for.
Mega kill for him, and 2 key difference makers. 1, he had Lincolns, and 2, they had the Shallow Grave. Without the Shallow Grave, they lose the fight. The fights they've been losing, Luna instantly dies before Grave comes out, or one of the carries does, usually the Luna, or the Dazzle just gets picked off. Didn't happen. Great reactions for Resolution. Sure, he had Lincolns, but Speed have a lot of single target disables, and they just couldn't get 2 off in a row. So now buyback is up on Lifestealer, actually up on 4 heroes. The only one who doesn't have it is the Clockwork. So it could be Speed with like 4 heroes up, but I think they need 5 to fight here.
Yeah, looks like they don't want to burn the buybacks. Glyph was already used, the tier 3 tower's fallen, and these racks will take heavy damage. That Luna with those bouncy glaives destroying those structures like it's her job. They'll take the racks and they will back out. We said we had a game on our hands. It looked like Speed was going to turn it. Now Empire with a response. A very back-and-forth match.
Empire just need to get out now. Don't overextend. You got a lane of racks. Reset. Rearm. Probably don't go Roche, because he who goes Roche loses the fights.
That is a recurring theme.
If they back off now, then Speed may look to take it on their own. So Empire have a slightly... I wouldn't say... Like, they can kind of fight near... It's not that they can't fight at the Roche pit, but they just have to be cautious about doing so.
Speed know exactly what's happening here. There was a Clockwork Rocket to scout it out. There's another one.
Envy's porting bottom from his tower just to infest quicker. They want to fight this one, and they want to do it bad.
They absolutely do. Empire don't have the damage to finish off Roche before Speed can contest.
The creep saw them coming. Great ult, and that now it's very risky for Speed to fight.
The defensive weave comes out from Dazzle, so even if Speed hop in, they will be going into an armored up team. It looks like they will not overcommit, at least for now. Playing this cautiously, looking for the opening. There's the zip in from Storm. The wards come down. Pylai does survive, but they force the wards out. Oh no, that could really cost them in this team fight. And Clockwork gets picked off in the fray. Empire.
He hooked on the Luna with nobody backing him up. Everybody was trying to focus down the Storm, and the Luna had 3 allies backing her up.
Resolution?
That was not good coordination from Speed.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's very important to have good ward placement with a Rasta, and with those wards on cooldown, Empire will feel much more safe moving into the Roche pit.
Still, though, Storm's out of mana. Hard to fight a Storm without it, but he's going to get Aegis and Cheese. Can Sing Sing steal this Aegis? He's not even going to try. Oh boy, that might be it.
Starting to look grim for Speed. Aegis of the Immortal going the way of Luna. Storm the one to grab the Cheese. That mana regen starting to kick in. Of course, he does have Scythe as well as Orchid. There will be a port back to defend the base. That tier 3 tower did fall, and actually the ranged barracks almost going down. They made...
This Chen creep, man.
Fall to the Chen creep.
The Wild Wing Ripper, the secret hero, perhaps, for Speed.
Look at you, Mr. Wild Wing.
They saw Ancient Apparition go back and clocks respawning. This would be probably the ideal time for Speed to fight. Sure, he can throw his ult here, but it's, you know...
No Rasta wards, though.
Anything better than nothing. But yeah, with no Speed wards...
And no glyph.
It's going to be hard.
They have an opportunity.
The A ult's coming now.
Yeah, I like how they're handling this. There's the zip forward. Will catch Sing Sing with the sheep. In comes the rest of the team. They might be able to drop the Shadow Shaman, and they do. Out comes the Eclipse. Pylai falls. Now this Eternal Envy Lifestealer in big trouble. He'll stand his ground, and he will fall. The instant buybacks from Speed Gaming. Out comes the Freezing Field from Pylai. It's just not enough. That's going to be a dieback coming out. They're continuing to pursue. Now Orchid on the Lifestealer. Resolution feeling bold. Will be forced to zip backwards, but they've created the space. The tier 3 tower taking heavy damage. Although, they might not be able to secure the racks quite yet. EE will continue to press out, but Silent is here. He's starting to right-click him down, and EE will overcommit outside of the base. He grabs the kill onto the Storm Spirit, but it'll cost him his own. The big AA ult, it comes in to finish him off. Bone 7, he will get taken down as well. That's the GG. Well played. Empire take it 2-0.
Man, what a game. Back and forth, up and down. The graph looks fairly stable, but the tides of this game were all over the place. Oh, wow. It looked awful for Speed early. They did not execute well in the laning stage. I thought AUI should have ganked the top lane and looked to just push the safe lane towers earlier. They had that really bad 2-for-1 where Clock and Chen died early on. And then we saw... the Shadow Shaman wards not being used with the team. The Chen creeps were off in another direction. Then we saw Bone 7 trying to solo kill heroes when his team wasn't there. Their teamwork was lacking, and then all of a sudden Empire started to look a little shaky. Made a bunch of mistakes, but late game Storm very strong. And the key deciding factor was the Dazzle Grave in that one fight. If Dazzle doesn't get off Grave there, I think they lose that fight badly. But Storm actually lived the entire fight. Then he came back in and killed off one more hero on the way out. So amazing play overall from VanXcore. 1-4-12, but... for me, the clear MVP of this team.
And I think it's hard to deny that that Butterfly had a really big impact in the last few fights. Lifestealer not going for the MKB. Instead, he grabbed the Assault Kuros. They still tried to crowd control down the Luna, but there were a couple of man fights where Luna was just able to straight right-click him down, compliments of that 35%
And the
evasion.
Storm BKB in the end was big, because once he got BKB, he just started BKBing and jumping in, and that's where earlier he had to be careful. Sure, you have Linken's, there's a lot of ways to break it, but once he had BKB... they can Abyssal him, but even then, killing him is still pretty hard. He had Lincoln Sphere and as well as Hex, and he was BKB, so he had a lot of HP. So he could BKB, zip in. The team that got the initiation won the fights, and in the end, they just had the better initiation. Storm is a better initiator than a Shadow Shaman with the Blink.
As well as the clockwork. So, sad that it was a 2-0 series. Speed did play pretty well. That last game, that's about everything I look for in a good Dota match. I think I broke a little nerd sweat in that game, LD. Got a little hype at the end there.
It was an exciting game. I actually want to say I expected a little better from Speed. I was disappointed by their early game decision making. I thought the draft was really good from Empire, though. Banning Puck and taking Storm. If Speed got Puck or Storm instead, this game would have been much different for me. But
yeah,
Empire drafted really well, and Speed struggled as a result. So Empire 2-0 in this series, and now they move on to play either... Is it Sad Boys or Liquid?
Well, let's take a gander here at our bracket.
Sorry, I said guaranteed top 4, but it's guaranteed top 3, actually.
Yes. So Speed Gaming is actually 4th. Now they're eliminated here in the losers bracket. Empire will move on to the losers finals, where they will face off against either Sad Boys or Team Liquid, depending on how that series goes tomorrow, I believe. That's our next series up. We've got Sad Boys versus Liquid, the NA champions, facing off in the winners bracket.
And is that the only match, or let me double check just to make sure?
We should double check. It may be both the winners bracket finals and the losers bracket
finals. We play both tomorrow, and then the grand finals were supposed to be the next day, but it sounds like they may be rescheduled to February 8th or another date yet to be determined.
Right. So we'll keep you guys up to date with that. But a fun tournament here, the ESP Shock Therapy Cup. Unfortunately, Speed goes home early, but Empire looking strong. LD once again coming true with your predictions. Not the 2-1 we were hoping for, but you still win this one.
Seems like Empire is a good bet so far. I don't know how far I'll ride this horse, but it's got me some easy rares. They weren't easy, though. Speed made them work for it and almost came back in this game. They were one more good fight away from taking it, but that one engagement where they got off the grave near the Dire Tier 2.
That was the turning of the tides. Very impressive. That Dazzle.
Yeah, Dazzle's a good hero.
Dazzle.
Good, but you have to have really good positioning. Dazzle can be worthless.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of feeding Dazzles. That's part of why he wasn't getting picked for a while. But Fang Score was always behind the Luna and often just in a very odd location, like that bottom fight, just hiding in a weird spot in the trees where they didn't expect him to be there.
Right.
Good positioning and Dazzle. Very strong combo.
And Dazzle. So that does wrap up our coverage today. A short day here on Beyond the Summit. Only a best of 3, but we'll be back tomorrow. And what time do we start, LD? Is it the 9 o'clock PST?
It is 4 p.m. CET. Although that is very early for teams from U.S. East or West.
That's 7 a.m. Pacific,
7 a.m. Pacific or 10 a.m. Eastern. So I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen. Sad Boys versus Liquid's supposed to be then. I guess it's possible it could be rescheduled, but for now it is 4 p.m. CET tomorrow. And then the losers finals, which will be Empire versus one of those teams at 7 p.m. CET.
Okay, so we'll keep you guys up to date with the times. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at ZyoriTV, at LD Dota, and of course at Beyond the Summit. That's it for us today, though, guys.
Yeah, one last thing. If you guys want to support the tournament, there is a ticket available in the Dota 2 store. It comes with Courier as well as wards. Or, sorry, not Courier. It comes with a
HUD
ward set, which I think is the coolest part. It's like a Storm Spirit-themed one,
as
well as a Storm Spirit-themed HUD, which you're showing right now on the screen. So it's $8. There's not many games left, but if you like the cosmetics and you want to support the tournament, consider picking it up. But and also, es-prime.com is the organizer's website if you want to check it out.
Absolutely. So until tomorrow, guys, we'll see you.